We're going to now learn about percent with double line and tape diagrams. Okay, it's another way to do proportions, but this time it's when you have proportions and percents together. Okay, some things you need to know. You need to know that percent means out of 100, and we need to know how to convert from decimal percent to fraction. So let's practice a couple of those right now. If we have a fraction that's 3/4, to get it to a percent, we can think of, we can get this over 100, we'd multiply this by 25, and 3 times 25 is 75. And you probably already know this one already, but that would be 75%. And the decimal would be, well, if we were actually going to say this would be 75 hundredths, which would be 0.75 hundredths, decimal 75. Okay, to get 40%, well, 40% is a percent, so that means 40 over 100, because percent means out of 100. We can reduce that, we can knock off the zeros by dividing by 10. We get 4/10. We can even reduce that some more by dividing by 2, and we get 2/5. So 40% equals 2/5. All right, we can go straight from either the decimal or the fraction, either the fraction or the percent to get my decimal. If I think what I originally had was 40 hundredths, then that's what decimal would be, 40 hundredths, or simply 0.4, 4/10. Okay, 0.03 or 3 hundredths, well, if I say it correctly, 3 hundredths, that'll give me the fraction, 3 hundredths. And that means how many, if percent means out of 100, that means 3%. And that, of course, will not reduce, so that's the fraction that it equals. Okay. Now, once you have that all figured out and understand that, then we have this. We want to think about percent in terms of the double line diagrams first. We're going to do double line, then we'll do the tape diagrams. So you draw your two lines, and you have 0, of course, and percent on top or on the bottom, doesn't matter, on the population or whatever it is you're looking at, on the whether it's money or something on the other side. We have 100%. In this case, we have a population of Leesville Road Middle School, supposing it's not true, is 1,400. What's 25%? What's 75% of that? Okay, so we set it up that 100%, in other words, 100% would be 1,400. You can put your percent sign here, or once you put it there, you don't have to have it there every time, but if it helps you, you can go ahead and put it there. Okay, well, I know if I get half of it, if I get 50%, which would be about halfway, well, half of 1,400 is 700. Well, I know 25 is half of the 50, so if I go half down here, that's 25%, and half of 700 is 350. So that's 350, it'd be 25%. So 25% of the students are 350 students. 75%, so to get that, there's a couple ways you could do it. You can either multiply this, to get to 75%, it's 25% times 3. So you can multiply 75 here, or 25, times 3, and you could get 75%, and then you have to multiply 350 times 3, and you get the answer. Or, the other way you could do it is, since you know 75% is 25 plus 50, you can add 350 plus 700, and that will give you 1,050. So the 1,050 students are 75% of the students. Okay? Let's do the next one. Let's find 20% of 400. Well, if 100% is the 400, because it's of 400, so the total amount is the 400. To get 20%, I can think of it like this. 20% of 100 would be 1/5, right? Because 20 goes into 100 5 times. So I can go all the way down to 1/5 and get that 20% here, which means from 100 down to 20, I had to divide by 5. So I have to do the same thing on the bottom. So 400 divided by 5 would be 80. So 80 is 20%. And now you could get a question, they could say, well, what's 60% then? Well, here's how you could do that. You go, well, 20% is 80, 40% would be 160, because you just double it. 60% would be either I 3 times my 20, or you could see a pattern here, 20, 40, 60. And this would be 80, 60, going up by the 8 times tables, right? 8, 16, and 24, 240. Or you could just do 3 times 20 is 60, 3 times 8, 80 is 240. If they want to know 80%, you just do it one more time again. You get 80%, and you go 8, 16, 24. We all know that's 320, and that would be 80%. Okay? All right, now let's do another problem. If $1,320 was 75% of your monthly income, how much do you make each month? Well, this time they didn't give us the 100%. We've got to find it. So here's my 75%. Let's just say about right here is your 100%. So you got to figure out how much more do I add to get to that? Well, from 75 to 100 is 25%, right? So if we go down here and make our 25%, we know that to get from 75 to 25, I have to divide by 3. So if I divide this by 3, I will get what 25% is. So dividing that by 3, 3 is 440, okay? So if all I need to get to 100% is to add 25% more, so all I have to do is to that 1320 add 440 more, and that'd be 1780. So my total monthly bill, monthly salary I should say, not bill, is $1,780. Okay? Now, oops, sorry about that. Now we're going to do the tape diagrams. Okay. So we're going to remember now that 20% of 100 is 1/5, just like we talked about before. So you would have to divide the tape into 5 rectangles when you're talking about 100% and 20% or 40 or 60 or 80. Anytime you get any of those, you want to use a 20%. You want to use 1/5 or a multiple of 1/5. Now 25% of 100 is 1/4 of 100, so you would divide the tape into 4 rectangles. And we'll talk about that and you'll understand that in just a minute. Okay, so example number 1. After a 20% discount, the price was $180. What was the original price? Okay, so what you want to do is draw your tape diagram. You're using 20%, so you want to divide it into 5 different rectangles. 5, actually not different, they're all supposed to be the same. So in each of those is 20%. You could go ahead and put percent on here if you want, that's fine too. Okay, so did you pay 100%? No, you did not pay 100%, you paid 80%. If you got 20% off, you paid 80%. So only 4 of these rectangles would equal the 180 that you paid for whatever it was you bought. Okay, so if I'm going to just stop there, I need to know if 4 of these boxes equals $180, how many is in each box? Well, that's why I divide by 4 to know which one, how much is in each box. It turns out $45 would be in each of those 4 boxes. So 45 is in each box that says 20%. 45 also has to be in the 20% that I need to get to figure out the original price. The discount I got was also $45 off, you could say. So to get the total original price, I'm going to add the 180 plus the $45, and that will give me my 100%. You can even demonstrate it like this. Like this would be 100% of the item, and this would be $225. Okay? All right. Our last one, let me see if I can do this right. Our last one, our last slide, it's going to be kind of interesting. The store owner pays 20% for jeans. Okay, 20%. He pays $20 for jeans, okay? Sounds kind of cheap, but he's paying them and he's going to turn around and mark them up and make you pay more, right? So here's what happens. You want to find the selling price, in other words, the selling price he's going to sell them to you for. If he marks them up 10%, 50%, 80%, and 100%, which happens in even more than 100%. Okay, so because we're working with 10, 50, 80, whatever, we got to go ahead and just make everything 10%. That means there's 10 sections. So the first thing I did, I just drew my long rectangle, the green one, and marked it up. It marked it with 10 boxes, each one 10%. And that's 100%. That's the total amount this guy paid for his jeans, which is $20. Well, because I had 10 different sections, I had to divide it by 10 to understand each section, each box really means $2, okay? So if he's going to mark it up 10%, he's going to add one more box. Okay, so he's going to add this one more box. So each box is $2, so he's going to add $2 more. So he's only going to mark it up to be $22. All right, now he wants to mark it up 50%. He's got to add 5 more boxes, which would be all of these guys. But again, each box is $2. That would be my 50%. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So he'd add $20 plus $10, and that would give you the $30. Okay, then for 80, he'd add 3 more boxes, which would be $6 more, which to 10 would be $16. So he'd ask you to pay $36 for those jeans. And then if he wants to mark it up 100%, he's going to have 10 more boxes. So it's going to be $20 more, which was adding to the original 20. He's going to ask you to pay $40 for those jeans. Okay, so that's how you figure out those using the tape diagram.